Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is another Sophisticated Saturday where together we work through my to-do list and get stuff done around the house. We're starting in the kitchen, one of my favorite places to start. I always put cooking or baking on my to-do list, but between you and me, those things are less of to-do list items for me and more of fun things. It's so relaxing for me to spend time in the kitchen, and I know that's not the case for everyone. I think that's one of the reasons that I am such a proponent of cooking from scratch and why I always seem to find time to make homemade meals, because it is a form of relaxation for me. I would much rather spend time in the kitchen than doing a whole lot of other things. I will admit that I like relaxing and watching a TV show, but oftentimes I combine it. So even as I'm filming these videos, sometimes I will prop up my iPad, which is what I use to watch TV or movies. I can't even tell you the last time I sat down on the couch and watched TV, unless it's with Jim and the two of us are watching a movie or a TV show together. So I bring my iPad around the house with me, mostly as I cook, sometimes as I'm going around and cleaning or folding laundry. So today was no exception. And today's recipe was a new one. I learned some things as I was making it. I did double it. I'm gonna link the recipe in the description box below, as well as listing out some of the ingredients on the screen here. But the recipe was inside out dumplings. Kind of a fun concept, and I thought it was going to be a lot easier because instead of having to make individual dumplings, which I've never done before, but it does sound relatively tedious, you boil the wonton wrappers in water and make them almost like noodles. So that seemed like a really great and easy concept for me. The one major thing that I did adapt from the recipe was that it called for pork, and I don't really eat pork. I will eat bacon or pepperoni sometimes, but don't typically eat pork, so I opted to swap that out for ground turkey. So if you don't like pork, you don't eat pork, or just want to try it with ground turkey, it did work great with ground turkey.
Pointing fingers, come on, let's rejoice of what will come. I have made the choice of thinking bigger. 'Cause you are all that I need, you are all that so I just close my eyes and dream about.
I'm just chopping all of my vegetables here, and I've gotten a couple of comments from a few of you saying if you don't want your cutting board to slide around, you can put a damp kitchen towel under there and it won't slide around. And watching this back, I am seeing how much it's sliding around. It's so funny because as I'm cooking and as I'm chopping vegetables, I don't even notice it slide. I don't know if it looks like it slides more because I speed it up, but I do think I need to try that little hack now that I'm watching it back. I think these white cutting boards do tend to slide around more than others. They seem to be a little bit warped. I got them for my wedding. I loved the marbling look of them, but I kind of think it's inevitable that you just have to buy new cutting boards every now and then. I know there are some that stand the test of time, but if you are buying these plastic ones, they tend to stain and warp over time.
Like a ghost, and never answer when I hit your phone. If you wanna go, just let me know. I guess I never should've let you in so close to my body.
Now the turkey was done, so I could pull that out of the pan there, make some space for the rest of my greens to cook. The base of this for greens is the snap peas that I cut previously, as well as some bok choy. I made a kebab with bok choy on the grill, gosh, maybe a little over a month ago now, and it was so delicious. The bok choy just soaked up all of the flavors, so I was excited to make this and see if it did the same thing. I'm just washing it and cutting it into small pieces, getting mostly just the green portion of the bok choy and discarding that bottom white portion.
Tryna get you out of my head. I wanna take back everything I said. Yeah, I wish I never got in your bed that night. And every time somebody comes close, I always seem to lose control. Yeah, I lose control. I guess I never should've let you in so close to my body.
Once I finished cutting that up, I could add it to the pan and stir it around with the snap peas, get that reducing, and then my water was finally boiling. Okay, here's where my critical mistake was made. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just like dumping all of the noodles and wontons into the pot of boiling water, and I quickly realized it was a mistake. I tried to fish some of them out. It was such a disaster. But the way that they come is in a package and they're all stacked on top of each other. They're almost like floured in between the layers, so they can peel apart really easily. The second you get them wet, they all congeal together. So make sure to individually peel all of those noodles and pour them into the pot of water and separate them, because the second they touch that water, if you haven't peeled them apart, they are going to become one gloopy mess. So I did have to discard a couple of piles of gloopy noodles that were like raw in the center and just giant formations stuck together. But short of that, do try this recipe. It was delicious. I don't think it looked really great and appetizing, but it was really good. So if this is kind of up your alley, make sure to give it a try.
Looking for someone to save me from all of the things in my past. I'd do anything just to make it.
So now you'll see I'm taking the time to clean up the kitchen quickly here. Owen is still asleep right now, so taking advantage of nap time, cleaning up the mess that I just made. And I think I also want to try and clean up the living room really quickly. And then once he wakes up, I think we're going to go outside. Jim has some yard work that he wants to do, so I'll probably take Owen outside with me. I had some dishes in the sink that were sitting there, the cake stand that I needed to clean off. And that's something that I always hand wash. So I was hand washing that and had the dish drying pad sitting out on the countertop so I could let it dry out there. I am such a fall lover. The apple cider scent of the Mrs. Meyer's cleaners has been making me so happy every time I do the dishes. I think there's something about having a new scent of, whether it's any sort of cleaner or a dish soap, whatever it might be, it personally motivates me to want to clean because I like the smell. So if you are looking for a way to kind of get yourself back motivated to clean, try grabbing yourself a new cleaner. Feels like you're treating yourself a little bit, but you're treating yourself to a cleaner, which hopefully then you will reap the rewards by cleaning your house.
Someday I'll find the one. So give me pain, give me pleasure, I don't mind. It's whatever, all I want is someone.
Into the living room, I was just doing a little bit of picking up all of Owen's toys. I know he's just going to make a disaster of it all over again, but I do like to pick it up typically once in the middle of the day as well as every night. In the middle of the day, I don't always pick it up, but I do a little bit of a tidy up every afternoon if I can. You'll see I'm searching high and low for all of the different little parts that go to all of his toys. That's part of the reason I pick up, is just so parts and little balls don't get lost. I like to keep an eye on them. But now that the living room is cleaned, I am going to make myself some bubble tea or boba. And I like doing this at home because I don't have to go out and get it. It saves a lot of money and I think it's healthier. A lot of times boba and bubble tea is just packed with sugar, even when I say 0 sugar or 25%, because a lot of places let you select the amount of sugar. It tastes so incredibly sweet to me. So making it at home, I can control that. And you'll see Owen is awake now, so he's helping me. He's watching all of the boba rise to the top. It's actually quite simple to make it at home. You just boil your water, drop the boba in, wait for it to rise to the top, cook it covered for 3 minutes, and then turn off the heat and let it cook for another 3 minutes. Take it off. I spoon it out and put it into a small little bowl with some honey. Add that to my tea, top it with some ice, and then milk. And today I did Thai tea, and you'll see it has that beautiful orange color to it. And then I saved the rest of the boba for later.
I wanna get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the sun, dive into the deep ocean, dance with you all night long, move as you swing your hips. Take a break from the stress and the hate. Feel the love and feel the
So here we go outside. You'll see I'm cheering as I go walk to Owen. We're playing on a little mat here. I brought his soccer ball out. It has become more difficult to let him play outside because he is mobile now and he wants to crawl everywhere. He wants to grab the grass and put it in his mouth. So this was a rare moment where he was sitting still and hanging out. I was just chatting with him while we enjoyed the breeze and watching Jim take care of the lawn. The weekends can be hard sometimes when Jim and I feel like we have stuff to do. So a lot of times, whatever we have to do actually is something that entertains Owen. So I figured instead of Owen and I just sitting inside like we always do, Owen could watch and enjoy and be entertained by Jim. Okay, outside time is over, so in we go, and I need to pick up my office. I let this office kind of fall to the wayside during the week. I'm really focused on my work, so the desk does get kind of messy. It also sometimes serves as a dumping ground when I'm cleaning up the rest of the house, especially if it's something that's mine that's out of place and needs to be put away. It just gets brought to my office. Jim brings stuff here, I bring stuff here. So I like to pick it up, and then I also eat lunch at my desk every day. I pump milk at my desk every day, so the countertops do get pretty dirty, so I wanted to give that a nice wipe off at the end of the week as well. I typically do this a good clean probably once a week.
Feel the moving beat. I know what you need. Singing oh na na, oh na na. Dancing in the sun, dancing all night long. Won't you come with me? Singing oh na 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 na. I can take you anywhere you want if you come with me.
So then I also wanted to vacuum the floors of my office. I do have those glass floor mats there, so those are really easy to just vacuum off. I don't have carpet exposed there, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little Owen who's coming to say hi. He is so flappy with his little arms, just really excited with everything that we're doing. Daily chores just get him excited. So he was all into the vacuum, and it's just funny watching this on high speed with him kind of crawling around and his arms just going up and down. He has such a funny little crawl right now. It's like 3 out of the 4 limbs are working and one's just sitting there, but it's so cute. And he does his little 360s spinning, but I could tell he wanted me to pick him up, so I grabbed him and we spent some more time together before I went to the kitchen and cleaned off his high chair because I just fed him lunch, and this kid makes a huge mess. We've been laying down beach towels and just shaking them out outside and then washing the beach towels every few days or so, and that's actually been working for us pretty well these days.
Jag vill ha dig, information och safety. Ni kan nog leda baby, och jag kommer aldrig ändra mig. Aldrig, aldrig, aldrig. Kommer aldrig känna så här för någon annan än dig. Aldrig, aldrig, aldrig.
Next up, cleaning off the tabletop, and then since I've cleaned off the tabletop, any crumbs have fallen off of that. I've now cleaned the high chair, so any crumbs that were on the high chair have fallen to the floor, so I can pull out my vacuum up all of the crumbs and debris that's on the floor. And then I also wanted to quickly pull out my Bona mop and give the floor a little bit of a mop here because he eats things like yogurt and other wet, sloppy foods that need to be mopped up too.
Jag vill ha dig, du får mig känna safety. Ni kan nog leda baby, och jag kommer aldrig ändra mig. Aldrig, aldrig, aldrig. Kommer aldrig känna så här för någon annan än dig. Aldrig, aldrig, aldrig. Kommer aldrig känna så här för någon annan än dig. Jag vet det bara life om igen. Jag vet det bara ta sin tid. Jag vet det bara life och igen och stay with me please. Jag vet det bara life om igen. Jag vet det bara ta sin tid. Jag vet det bara life och igen.
Okay, the cake stand is now dry, so I can put that away, and then to put away the rest of my dishes because the dishwasher has had time to run and cool off. So I'm going to rapid speed put all of that stuff away so we can have a clean dishwasher.
Låt mig hålla dig baby, hey, yeah.
I've said it a million times, but usually I run the dishwasher every night. This day we got off cycle, but I've gotten even more into doing it every night because Jim has taken on doing the dishes every single morning, which has helped me so much. So as long as I run that dishwasher every night, he takes care of putting the dishes away in the morning when he wakes up. So it's just a lot less for me to have to do every morning when I'm trying to juggle Owen, making sure he's taken care of, feeding him breakfast, getting him dressed for the day, and also getting myself ready and dressed for the day so I can get started working when I need to work and picking up the house quickly before the nanny gets here. All of that stuff, it's just one less thing on my plate. So as long as I run that dishwasher, he's got it covered. So big incentive for me to start it every night.
Look, it's a surprise, don't deny us. She telling me she want to be my lover, yeah. I love you when she want to be my lover, yeah. My little baby go rise on me. My little baby go right on me. Maria, Maria, Maria. Every time you're looking out for me. Every time you're looking out for me. Love you, yeah, love. Everything go from Maria.
Do a kitchen sink deep clean real quick here. I was out of my kitchen scrub, so I'm going to refill that first. It is just baking soda and essential oils. So I am unscrewing the top here, which actually was kind of goopy and gross. I will link in the description box below the lid that I use for my mason jar because I always get questions about that. It has a sprinkle top on it, so I can easily sprinkle the baking soda mixture all over my sink. I'm just doing little layers of scoops of baking soda with a few drops of essential oil. I have in the past done like an accurate ratio, but I've kind of found that it doesn't really matter. It works well doing it this layered way. And then I am going to sprinkle it into the sink. I'm gonna add a little bit just of the plain baking soda and essential oils so I don't use up what I just filled up in the container, a tiny bit of water, a squirt of dish soap, and get to scrubbing, and that's it. Works great for stainless steel or really any type of sink that you have. It's just a nice soft way to get rid of anything that's stuck onto your sink.
Now you want to spend more time with me. Do you want to be my wife, baby? I just want you in my life.
I'm also using this really small brush tool here so I can clean the spot where the sink meets the countertop because there is a bit of a gap there. Food gets stuck in there and it kind of gets gross, so I want to clean that area out since I'm doing a kitchen sink deep clean.
Everything go from Maria.
I noticed the Keurig needed to be refilled as I was moving towards the countertop on the back side of the kitchen, so I filled that up and then got to tackling the stovetop. I try and quickly wipe it down after I use it every single time if there's food that falls out of a pot or pan, but I do a deeper clean every few days because there's always inevitably some sort of cooking splatter and stuff. So I like to just pull off the parts that need to be pulled off. This isn't a complete deep clean, but it's kind of like an in the middle step of cleaning for what I do for my stovetop.
You call me every night, call me every day. I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say we gon' be okay. We just gotta.
All of these parts are so easy to take off, so just taking that one little extra step of removing the grates there and pulling off the knobs and all of that stuff just helps to get a deeper, more thorough clean, and I am using specific cleaner for my stainless steel.
If you call me, I'm gonna pick up the phone. If you tell me, I'm gonna meet you alone. If you're on me, I'm gonna treat you the right, treat you the right away. I'm gonna
The last thing I wanted to do today was to do some meal planning. I had new recipes I wanted to potentially add to my recipe binder, and I also wanted to write out all of the meals that I had planned for next week. I had been keeping a note in my phone, a little running list of some things that I wanted to have for next week, so that's what I'm starting with, just writing those out on my acrylic menu board that I keep up in the kitchen. And then I am going to sort through my binder and see if there's anything else that I'm thinking about making.
Call me every day, I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say we gon' be okay. We just gotta boom bada boom ba. I don't wanna fight, you know that I'm right. Baby, let me talk to your body.
If you are interested in how my recipe binder works and all of the details and stuff, I filmed an entire video on this, which I will link for you if you would like to watch that after you're done watching this, because that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this sophisticated Saturday. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. As always, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would really, really appreciate it. But until next time, I will see you guys later.